about it that hard. They don't care. They're working to survive and live, and that's it, and feed their family and go about their day.
But even in that statement right there, that's what I mean. Like it's subtle. You don't realize it that you're actually playing for a particular team. All of us do. I made that argument long ago in this room when people were like, well, are you a racist? And I think you're a racist, and I would say, yeah, I am.
I think you're hardcore and people aren't hardcore. You know?
I'm living in a realistic world where it's the reality. If I care about my children and I care about their cousins and I care about all the other people that look and act and behave and are trying to preserve our culture, our East Side ways, that means I prefer my own over yours. I want my children to get the best education over your children. I want my children to... Yeah. So what does that mean?
I respect that for you, right? Like in my household, my family, I wasn't raised like that. We don't think like that. You know what I mean? That's why I say you're more hardcore, because it's not about people who look like us, right?
Ms. Lopez. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, your son is sick and mine is sick. The doctor says we only save we only have enough XYZ medicine, blah, 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 and that's it. Who are you going to save?
You're talking about someone's child, though. That's different than...
It's not. It's all the same.
I don't know.
Who are you going to say?
If you're going to say, okay, two people's children that aren't yours, one's this and one's this, that's probably a better question, because you separate it from your own. Everyone's going to choose their own child.
That's exactly the point. And guess what? I'm going to choose my own grandmother. I'm going to choose my mother. I'm going to choose my dad. And I'm also going to choose my dad's friends. I'm going to choose my cousins. I'm going to choose my cousin's neighbors.
This guy's already kind of all broken down.
All of these people, I'm going to choose every single one of them. I prefer them over everybody else. And everyone prefers their own people over mine.
I disagree, because I can choose a child over an adult no matter the color.
The Chinese choose the Chinese over everybody. Arabs choose Arabs over everybody. You get it, what I'm saying now?
I just think
the reason for the choice is preservation of your culture. And familiarity. It's not a bad thing. It's just we've been taught that these are bad ideas. But you already naturally do it anyway. You do it every day and don't even realize it. I'm not sitting around thinking about white people. I'm thinking about how to better my children and better my family, just like you are. But in the midst of that, guess what? If there's a threat to my child's education because somebody else decides to move into the neighborhood and they want to start absorbing all of the resources over my children, I'm going to have a problem with them. Should I? Should I have a problem with them? I thought we were all human, though. You see?
I understand what you're saying.
If we don't believe in those things, then there's really no reason why we have borders, fences, or property rights. Don't have anything, because it doesn't really matter. We should all just sit there and say, hey, listen, no matter what happens, we win. So if the Mexicans come and the entire America, it doesn't really matter, because we're all the same, right? If the Chinese come and do the same thing, it doesn't really matter, because we're all the same. We, the humans, we won. the greatest, I don't know, the greatest whatever. And he's just loaded with money. What does that do for my family who don't even know you? Not a damn thing.
Is this the plot for one of Sally's movies?
Or I can be like, oh, we're a part of the human race. So we all win. You know, Mrs. Lopez's son is off doing great things. And he built a rocket that can land itself. And he's off to Mars. What does that do for me? Huh?
A damn thing.
Exactly. But what does work out, Ms. Lopez, is when you come to Georgia, the Mexicans that are already here, you can go to Jimmy Carter and go down this strip, and everything is Spanish. All of the buildings are Spanish. All of the titles and the names, the companies, they got their own taxi cab company. They got all of this stuff. You know why? Because they prefer their own. Does that mean that they're evil racists who hate everybody else? Or is it just practical that they will make their own lives convenient for themselves and their children?
That convenience, though?
For them, yeah. It may be inconvenient for others because if I don't speak Spanish and I want, and that's the closest place to eat or get a tire changed or there's an emergency and I'm going, help, hey, listen, I got a problem. He's like, oh, hey, no, great day. Espanol? And I'm like, no, speak that. I got this problem, blah, 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 blah. It's convenient for them, but it ain't convenient for me. It works out for them. That's what it's been like, literally being a black person living in America all of this time.
People should learn how to speak English. I mean, my family did. Very fast.
So when the black people are now adopting the same behaviors as the other people that come to the country, they're the ones being called racist. But everybody's practicing this. Everyone. Every single group is doing the exact same thing. The Armenians, they're doing that in California. They got their own area. There's nothing wrong with that. The Arabs, they're doing it. The Ethiopians in the north, in Detroit, they're doing it.
Armenians have been in that area for several years.
But
Since my father was young.
that's the point, though. They put their flag there and they say, hey, look, this here is going to be our spot. This is our lunch table. We're going to speak our language. We're going to keep and maintain our culture. We're going to practice our beliefs. And we're going to marry and have children. We're going to have our children. That's how we're going to do it. But guess what? Guess who's not supposed to do that? The black people and the white people that are here. If white people practice the exact same thing, they're called racist. If black people practice the exact same thing, they're called racist. And they're trying to force us to be together with each other. But everyone else can maintain their culture.
You see that?
To be fair, Armenians are called racist all the time for the way we live. Yeah, we're called xenophobic, right? But here's the other side, guys. Like, when the Soviet Union fell, right, there was a huge influx of Armenians that came to LA. And most of us really didn't want to come here, but it was the best option at the time for our parents. And so they obviously didn't plan it. It was very sporadic, unplanned. So you're going to want to live by people who speak the same language as you. But as decades go on, like, we marry other cultures, we move out to other places, but there's still the majority of the people that are doing exactly what he just said. Like, yeah, we're gonna stay Armenian. I expect you to have Armenian kids. I expect you to go to Armenian private school. Like 80% to 90 are like that. But as the generations go, whether they want to or not, they pretty much fade, and you can't hold on to it for too long. It's very hard.
That's all I'm trying to say. So at the heart of Armenian Central, the culture is being maintained. Now, of course, as generations go on, the generations that come out, they're going to, of course, mingle with the other people, start talking and stuff. But the heart still maintains its identity. My argument, though, my point is they're not allowing that for the black people in this country. The oldest group here, they don't want that for us. And they're in government institution after institution trying to force us to forget who we are. But everybody else is allowed to maintain their identity. And I think that's wrong. I think it's sick. Everyone else is allowed to maintain their history. But the black people, their history is constantly being erased. That's what my wife was talking about earlier.
To the Native Indians, oh my God. We started different.
But at least with the Native Indians, they were allowed to get a section of land or a section of places, and they're allowed to, even though it's an impoverished state, they're still allowed to keep their culture. You got to understand what's happening here. You're forcefully trying to eradicate people from their ancestors, and you're trying to make them basically a blank slate, somebody that you can mold to whatever it is that you want them to be, a slave. They don't know where they're going, and they don't know where they've been. They are orphans.
That's why the school system is the way it is. That's why they don't want the kids to critically think. That's why they want us to follow the leader. All of that shit. If you look at everything and how it is, from pharmaceuticals, the medical industry, everything, the school system, everything, it all fits like a puzzle in how they want us to be. And it's all about control.
Well, that's really matter. It probably Kirk is a racist. Just it's leading the government talking point, where they're trying to forcefully eradicate people who prefer their own cultures. And it's just, to me, that's just sick. It's wrong. Now, if the white guy was like, hey, look, like we were talking about earlier, we need to strip the black people of all of their rights that they fought for. We need to put them back in shackles and put them back on a fucking plantation somewhere. That's a different thing. But if he's saying, hey, listen, the white community is literally dying off. Our white women have been told that it is a bad thing to have white children. They should prefer men of other races. That right there is a soft genocide. It's an eradication of culture. If you're saying that the white people opening up the gates and letting all of the newcomers come in to replace them. You don't see that? You don't see how that's playing out?
I see that because there was a court case in 1980 in LA. I've known that for a long time. That to the Mexican and the black women, they were sterilizing them without their permission. There was a court case, and so that wasn't that long ago, right?
Right. So let me ask you something. Let's talk about. I like to say let's take a look at all of the strong nations. I mean, really powerful nations that cannot be moved. Are they those powerful nations? Are they represented by men or women? Men. So why is it that the black community in America are represented by homosexuals and women? When did these people become the spokespersons for the entire black community? Who put them in charge?
The Democrat.
Do you think black men would have fought for abortions? Black heterosexual men.
I don't think.
Right now, and this is key because this is where we start sliding down that slippery slope of dictatorship. When you start saying they're allowed to protest in ways that I allow, not in ways that the law allows, right? Because if they're complying with the laws of said city that they're demonstrating or protesting in, there should be no reason to have interference or rubber bullets shot because you don't like the way they're protesting.
Well, they
That's
can
the
do that with
difference
the
between
news
the
now.
dictator.
They told them they can't report at the White House or anything unless they sign a contract saying that they will only say what he will allow them to say in the news. Or something like that. You heard
Doing
of
yoga.
Can you repeat that again, Mimi?
There's something that, okay, somebody explain it.
News and others said they will not go along with what the Trump administration through the Pentagon media has essentially censored or wants to tell people what to say. And Fox, CNN, and others have said they're just not going to roll with that, and their credential passes can be disbarred, and the only news media is right wing. I think One America or something like that, which I don't know what the hell One America is, but I know that I ain't bigger than NBC and some of what you call legacy news. And Legacy News has the money to sue, and I hope they all come together and sue, because that's probably what it's going to have to take is class action lawsuits. People can't do stuff by themselves. You're going to have to start suing in massive groups and whatever else you need to do, because that's the media's right to, that's why they give them press passes and stuff there. I've never, heard of this kind of stuff where only one news station can be back there. This is America, and that's why people are speaking out about it, because it's just not right. And quite frankly, it's probably and absolutely not legal. That's a problem. That's really bad, to try to control the media and what people say and how they say it.
Yeah, I'm at work. But thank you, actually.
Look, one second, real quick, 1 second. Pepe, you're more than welcome to be on the stage. You're more than welcome to give your
Pepe!
because we do have people who are just sitting here, and that's real disrespectful to their. That's not Hitler, though. No, I don't care. It's close enough.
Alright, this article I posted sorry. I'm sorry. I was just reading the article about the missiles thing with Trump. It's saying that Governor Newsom is still trying to decide if they're gonna do it, but he says the reason why he hasn't decided is because they haven't really gotten much information about the planning of the event. So it's not set in stone yet that he's actually going to go forth with it. But there's, I guess, a plan mapped out to do it, but it's not concrete yet as of today. I'll put it in the chat for y'all to read it, so y'all can read the details, but yeah.
Believe people have the First Amendment right, but with all everything that's going on, man, just with everything, I would say this is a crazy time. We all watched Charlottesville happen in real time, and so it's just, I don't know. Just praying to be careful.
Wait, what do you mean it's a crazy time?
Anything out of Memphis in terms of
I'm gonna get right back to you. Put your hand down, Pepe. I don't care if it's not Hitler. I don't care if it's Franco. I don't care who it is. They're doing the Nazi salute. Come back with a PTR. They're not making a racist gesture. And you'll be welcome to the stage. That's it. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, so have you heard anything about Memphis and the effects of the National Guard being out there?
No, we haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. Nothing solid. I think it went last Friday. It might have been. So it might be too soon.
There's somebody in the chat, Rudy Payton. You want to come up? Tell us about it. So she's in the Memphis area.
Miri, did that answer your question with the press corps leaving the Pentagon?
Yeah, so because I saw some podcasters and stuff, they were basically really upset because they were not able to get press passes.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm glad for it, because this is exactly why we can't get rid of history in schools, because unlike certain supporters on the stage, they think that this is okay. They think that it's okay for an administration to dictate what our media is putting out there. And they don't see the dangers of this. They don't see the danger of this. They don't see that this is hinting on what's more to come. That's the crazy part. They'll find a way to justify this. There ain't no justification for this. How the hell are you going to tell the media what they're going to talk about? That's not what the media was made for.
Who supports that? I'm just curious on this stage. I actually think when it comes to the White House press corps, he should not be playing the game.
But the problem is, if you read Project 2025, if you know, I mean, it was clear then. Let's just say not. You guys will make it up like you didn't know nothing about this. Fine. But if you still support him after this, the problem is you can't not support this. How the hell do you support an administration, period, after something like that? Period. How do you support an administration, period? Because if they can do that, what else are they going to do?
The left doesn't.
Where is enough for you all?
The left has been doing this for a while, but really don't care.
So if you
In what way? Give an example.
Y'all agree with this fool?
Hey guys, I'm just gonna mention of the 250th anniversary. It's just artillery fire off the coast from Camp Pendleton, and the closest No King's Day is 79 miles away.
that's good news. Now we can probably look at 1999, baby.
I know they're shooting artillery out the
I'm sure you guys are for the Marine Corps and then celebrating their history.
Of course. No, they don't.
But wait a minute, again, I thought their birthday was in November, but I guess I'm wrong. Shit,
You should look it up the official date.
Yeah, we looked that shit up.
Saturday. You should.
The Marine's birthday is officially Saturday, you said?
Yeah, these new rules are a bit intense.
Yes, it's indeed the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary is official.
First battle was in
2025.
I mean,
Which marks the founding of the Continental Marines back in 1775. It's definitely a big milestone for them.
The press pass is that's what's crazy that people reporters can't report what they want to report. But that's dangerous.
Hey, but Mimi, you know what else? When you brought up this, you know, the King's March and all that, and the thing is, with them labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization, I think you mentioned it. When if someone does some kind of act of violence according to them, they can be labeled Antifa, right?
Terrorists.
Yeah, so this is exactly how they're going to lock up people, you know, during these marches, labeling them Antifa. This is how they're going to actually put bodies to them so that they can show their base, oh, see, Antifa does exist. And then you're going to have, like, certain individuals that say, see, Antifa did exist. Look, they're locking them up. And, you know, it's exactly what, you know, their plan is. So, I mean, yeah. So beyond that missile stuff, I think that's even more dangerous is that that's the shit that they're going to be pulling off.
kind of like the January 6th people and everyone associated with them. Like,
I was talking, you got to look it up.
I know it.
Hold on. Okay. I was trying to ask them where they can see their that's all.
Okay, can I just do a breaking news?
It's not missiles, it's not one over LA. Just
One mic on Lisa.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but what's his name? Turtle? Did he pass out again?
No, he did. He fell on the floor.
He fell.
He fell. Oh, he got.
He got back up though.
It was pretty bad, though.
Barely got back up. He didn't get two people to help him back up.
It looked like he could ask about a question, though. Yeah, asked about ice, and he slipped on some ice.
I'm not glad. Oh, that ain't funny. That old man. That's
Girl, he done glitched out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was funny.
Two more times.
That shit was hilarious.
That was funny. You hear me? I'm sorry.
That's the elder abuse. His rich wife needs to come get him with that.
You could tell he was kind of dizzy because he was the other guy.
Oh.
That's because the prices are too high to get his
Don't
ass.
pay attention to him. The people around him.
He is not
They
being.
let him sit there and freeze on camera for like a full 30 seconds before they step forward.
Well, he didn't go to the shutdown, so he's not getting his health care right now.
Cancer under the Republican Party needs to step down.
Yeah, he stepped down, all right, but he been to the he fell down. Yes, honey.
And they said, and 1000% was in the whole call.
Okay. I'll be glad you would be in the room.
He said he likes Patty and he met Patty in person and that is a person based on real life.
Oh, shit. Let him finish.
Yeah, let me finish. He said that he met.
Go ahead.
So he did say that he likes Lisa, and he said that he likes Patty, and he said, in fact, he likes Patty, and yet nothing will change his mind about anything on this app because he knows like who she really is, and but he didn't say anything bad about either.
That's fine. I'm not really worried about it, pepperoni, so I'm good, you know.
Respond to the insulin statement.
Well, 1 second though. The person that just said that was not in this room. They weren't in this room. They were in that room on a burner. So they don't even know what was just said in here. They just independently confirmed that.
So somebody somebody was saying that they can't afford it.
One thing I know, I would put my voucher on. They are not fucking lying.
Hey, Jim, ask him a question. If you said some people are low IQ, or he said like the whole protest, like find out what.
Okay, I understand.
CEO, make sure you get mad at him as you did.
Because we already know that Anthony likes Patty, likes Lisa, so that's we already know that. So
Let's not defend the
they're not gonna
because
they're not gonna
no one's not. Don't do that, Amari. Don't play cleanup until we hear the truth.
you can't define them. Lisa,
You don't do that. You have to just have to know anything. Sorry.
Lisa, come on now. You know.
No, seriously, I don't play those kind of games because I know humans are capable of humaning and they do it all the time. So never put your faith in another human being.
One thing y'all gotta know about this app is everything that makes it around this app. Y'all know how this app works. Y'all on this app, of course, somebody in there on a fucking burner.
And it's okay, you guys. I'm not taking it one way or the other because I know where I stand. I know who I am. And I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to defend you guys because all you guys are very intelligent, brilliant. And I do mean that because we can have a conversation till 5 o'clock in the morning. So obviously there's something happening. There's something going on. And it's not a bunch of fuckery. So, because I'm not about that. But anyway, I don't even want to talk about it anymore if you guys don't mind because it just, to me, it's a compliment left-sided, and I'm just gonna take it and roll.
All right, let's keep the conversation rolling then.
All right, so homeboy fell out, and he had two black men. Was it two black men that had to pick him up? He needs to retire. He really does. He is just taking y'all's money, y'all Republicans' money, and I'm not giving you any return on your fucking dollar. So he's weird. He's old, and he needs to go someplace and sit down. Or fall down or whatever.
Republicans agree with you on that. Like
okay.
We've been saying this for a long time. Like he's a fucking dinosaur. He's a part of the old machine. Like we just can't wait for him to step down.
You know what? If it wasn't for that old fart, y'all wouldn't have the Supreme Court. So show some respect.
Okay.
Not that I'm a fan, but hey.
Yeah, I get you. So what else is happening? We covered the young dumb Republicans, and their fucking misstep. So you're only talking about that over in that other room. And then the fact of the matter that Trump is saying, well, no, he didn't say it, that this Middle East peace deal is about to fall apart right before our eyeballs. It's just a big grip. So I'm just waiting for them to start handing out the plans of the hotels, the golf courses, whatever. They do not care about these people in Gaza, but we have to pay for the hotel. We got to pay for the fake ass rebuilding. And Trump said it's going to be on everything. I think I took a bet with somebody in here, but I'm standing on my bet. I won't welch.
Yeah, Lisa, you hit it on the head. I said it. You know, Patty had a room. You know, Hamas said they're not giving up their weapons. Furthermore, 6 aid trucks were supposed to come in. They only let in 3. The border into Egypt is still closed. So it's a big celebration over nothing. They're not giving up their weapons. This is not a good look. On top of that, I don't know if you guys saw Trump was exposed. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, with plans to build an arch, kind of like the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. There's also an arc there in New York and Washington Square Park. So he wants his own art, guys. He wants a Trump
Crazy.
I don't know where they want that.
Self-aggrandizing narcissist.